Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I don't really have a plan, but I wasn't really doing too much. I wasn't really in much of a mood to make anything specific, and when I'm kind of like that and I don't really know what to do, I fall back onto my scraps and I just play. So that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. I thought I may as well just turn on the camera and you guys can sort of craft along with me. And I do hope the lighting is a little bit better in this video because I did invest in a new lighting kit, so I've got lighting coming from both angles, so hopefully this is not too blue for you guys. But yeah, so what I'm going to do today is I've just pulled out all the things that I really love. So I love stamping and I love scraps. So I've pulled that out. I've got bits of fabric. Actually, let me just show you guys. I'll show you my mess. I just went into one of my drawers and pulled out a bunch of scraps here. I don't really know what's in it. I haven't been into these drawers in quite some time. But you know, we can make something out of this. I've got handmade paper here that I've embossed. I don't know if you can see that if it focuses. It's got leaves on it. Some sort of very retro wallpaper that I got in Happy Mail. There's all sorts of sort of materials here that I'm just going to push to the side and I'm going to grab and sort of add into these embellishments that I'm going to make. I've got fabrics and yeah, so it's just going to be a little bit of a craft along with me session. The builders are a little bit noisy today, so I apologise for that. The first thing I thought I would do is do some stamping because I really enjoy stamping, and if you guys had seen my Instagram stories, I think it was yesterday when I showed you my very messy desk, which then got cleaned up and is now messy again, you would have seen the storage container that I got from Spotlight, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, and it's huge. It sits on my desk. It's got all these little pull-out drawers. I'm really wanting to fill those up with lots of little bits and pieces, and I love to have sort of stamped bits and pieces in here as well. I think I'll show you guys. I have some Christmas ones in here. If I can pull it all out. Hang on a minute. So this is just a little drawer. I've got some stamping bits and pieces in there. I've used up quite a few of them, but yeah, I just thought it's a fun way to pop little bits and pieces into these storage drawers. So this is one of my favourite little stamps that I think goes really well on embellishment pieces. It's a little rose. The stamp pad that I'm using is Memento. I think it's rhubarb. Yeah, rhubarb stalk. So I'm just going to pop that aside. I'm just going to do a few of these. I do not stamp very well, you guys, but it doesn't really bother me if they don't turn out perfectly, because I do like imperfect stamps as well. And I think the one thing I've got to learn not to do is not to press too hard. I seem to overpress when I stamp, and then it sort of ruins the image. But if you press a little bit lighter, it comes out a little bit better, but then you also run the risk of it maybe not making a full impression. So I don't know. Tell me your tips and tricks for stamping, guys. So I'm just going to do a few of these roses here. I think that'll be enough. And then I have a tiny little butterfly stamp here that I'm going to do. So I'm going to rip this. This is just a tea stained bit of paper, and I think these will make nice little sort of focal points on embellishments. But yeah, I hope you guys have been having a great week. The last video I uploaded was when I visited the antique store. Sorry guys, my dog is sleeping. He's making some noise. I visited the antique store up in Brisbane and I took you guys along with me. That was on Saturday. So yeah, since then I haven't really... I've been doing a little bit of crafting. I actually made some handmade paper. last week, and I was attempting to make green handmade paper, and it did not turn out the green that I wanted. It turned into a bit of a blue colour, but I didn't want the paper to go to waste, you know, so I ended up, I'll pull them over here, I ended up making a bunch of these blue handmade paper tags. So I've got about 15, I think, and I don't know what sort of blue you would call it. It's like, yeah, I'm not too sure. It's quite a is it a turquoise almost? So it's like that colour. It's a really nice colour. A sort of a deepish blue, bluey green, I guess. But I made a bunch of handmade paper tags that will eventually go into the shop. Just rip this one down here. And then we've got a bunch of little roses there. And now I'm just going to grab this little butterfly here. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Just stamp a few out and then we can play around with these in our embellishments. So yeah, I went up to the antique store. I sort of lost what I was saying. Went up to the antique store on Saturday and brought you guys along with me. I did get a couple questions about what I got. Some of the things you can see what I bought were at the end of the video. Some you couldn't really see. I might show you guys in this one. But yes, a lot of you guys were saying how expensive it is, and oh my gosh, yes, it is. Sorry, I hope you can see I'm stamping upside down. It's very, very expensive up at that antique store, but I'm very selective about what I purchase, or if I do actually purchase anything at all. Like I said in my video, my favourite spot in the antique store is at the back right hand side, because that's where they have a lot of postcards, and they also have like collector's cards. I'm not too sure what you call them. They come out of like vintage Weet-Bix boxes, or tea cards, I think is what you call them. So I'll show you guys actually. I'll take these two out because these two actually came from the lovely Corey from Crafty Coco. She sent me some happy mail. But these are the sorts of cards that I ended up grabbing. If you guys watched the antique store video, you would have probably seen a lot of basketball cards in there. But if you shuffle about quite a bit, there's a lot of these like really beautiful cards, and they're 20 cents each. And that's the sort of thing I don't mind paying. I don't mind picking out a few cards for 20 cents each. So I picked out a lot of birds sort of cards, and like some little butterfly cards. This one I got on a previous trip, so we won't include that. So this one, sort of like this old town, and this is from, I guess it's a, what's that, cigarette card maybe? Butterflies, birds, you know, all that good stuff that we love. I'll show you the ones that I really do. Like these ones, I love getting these ones. These are from the whole wheat biscuits, so like Weet-Bix. The cereal, I don't think you guys have it in America, but you guys in the UK will definitely know Weet-Bix. They come out of those, yeah, whole wheat biscuits, sort of, yeah, collector's cards. So yeah, anyway, those are the types of things that I go up to that antique store for, because I don't mind paying 20 cents for a handful of those. So I got those, and then I got some vintage playing cards that, yeah, they were quite expensive looking back on it now. There's a couple there that I probably would not have purchased, but I'm a terribly impulsive buyer, and yeah, I did purchase some that I sort of regretted after, but they're still lovely nonetheless. They're just sort of really expensive. So, but it was fun anyway, and I don't often go up there. I go up there maybe once every 2 or 3 months maybe. It's not that far away actually, it's only like 25 minutes drive I think, in Annerley in Brisbane. So here is some little butterflies. We'll just tear those up. Yeah, they're actually working quite hard actually on our street this past week, finishing up some of the houses. So we've only got, I think, 2 more houses, and then our entire street is sort of finished with their building. But yeah, yesterday actually I think the builders threw a, well, I'm assuming they did, and they may not have, but I don't see how else it would have happened, threw like a lit cigarette into, they have like a really big rubbish area at the front when they're building with wood and all sorts of rubbish, and I think one of them has flicked a cigarette in there and it just went up. So that was the talk of the neighbourhood yesterday. Anyway, so I'll pop that aside. So there's just a few little stamped bits and pieces. I probably should have done that before I started filming, but butterflies and roses, so we'll pop them there and we can play with them. And then I thought I will bring out some stamps that I did also pick up from the antique store. Little bundles there, because Corrie also uses stamps in hers, and I think I mentioned that before, and I think they look fantastic. So I'm super inspired by her embellishments, and I'm just going to take that little piece of cotton off there. These were little bundles of stamps, and they were all the same, so that was quite cool. These are all actually New Zealand stamps, so you can play around with those ones. Butterflies and florals. These are Kohai. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that, but it's in Maori, so it's sort of like a little flower there. And then this one, yeah, it's also in Maori, so I'm not so good with the Maori language. We did, obviously growing up in New Zealand, we did learn it, but I didn't really take, I don't know, I didn't really learn it very well. I wasn't too good in school, so yeah. Alright, so we've got some stamps, some stamped pieces, and then all my scraps. So I think we'll just start. We'll get started on making some embellishments. These might be big, they might be small, I don't know, we'll just see how it goes. This is an embossed piece of handmade paper here. I might just sort of tear it and straighten it up some, because it was just a, actually it was left over from making these tags. So they sort of, when I end up making the tags, I end up with all these leftover strips of handmade paper, and I don't want to let that go to waste, because, you know, handmade paper takes actually a long time to make. It's quite a process, so I try and use up every little bit that I can. So maybe I'll bring you guys down a little bit more so you don't have to see all this mess. Maybe that's a little bit better for you guys, hopefully. Might pop a little rose there, and we've got this little scrap of paper we might pop here. And I've got my fabric glue, and I think in one of my videos I was talking about how it explodes over the top, and I did get a couple of really good hints. Gail actually said to leave the seal, I believe, the seal, and poke a hole, but I think a couple of people did point out, who are in New Zealand, that yeah, these ones actually don't come with a seal, so when you buy them they're just open here, so I actually don't have the seal to poke a hole in these ones. So I'm not sure, maybe I should find one that just has a seal, I don't know. So, oh, and I've got some fabric, I've got some lace, got so many bits and pieces, you guys. Let's cut off some of this beautiful fabric that I got in Happy Mail. And of course I brought over my blunt scissors, so, oh gosh, Bear with me, guys. Maybe we'll pop that there. And I'll be sewing and doing all that kind of jazz later on. I won't do that right now. But it's been a really, really long time since I've made some little embellishment pieces. So it's fun to do it again. Maybe this one can go here. Try not to think about it too much, we'll just slap them on down. I know I probably won't even create a dent in the little pile that I've got here. That's how bad my scrap situation is. But yeah, let's pop this one here. Try and move quite quickly for you guys. So not really, it's Friday at the moment here, and yeah, it's the weekend. I'm not really going to be up to too much this weekend, I don't think. Pop that there, and there's one little embellishment piece. So I think that'll do that one. I hope that's focusing okay. I've noticed actually in the past few videos it hasn't been focusing very well, so I apologise for that. Yeah, I don't really have too much planned this weekend. I've been spending a lot of time with my family actually this week, because I do have a family member that is very extremely unwell at the moment, and they're up in the hospital, so I've been spending a lot of time with my family. So I may do that on the weekend as well. Trying to sort of sift through. I've got some vellum here. Maybe I'll use that because I never use vellum. I do have a lot of scraps of it, so let's tear some of that off. Pop that on the back. But yeah, yesterday was Halloween, or last night was Halloween, and I believe today's Halloween in the US. So it's the first Halloween that I've had in our new house here. Oh, look at this lady. She was just in with the scraps, so we might just pop her aside. Isn't she lovely? We'll pop her aside. So I didn't know whether we would get many kitties, sorry, coming to visit, but we do have a community page actually that I follow on Facebook, and they did mention, I think, that some of them were going to come, so I did go and get some treats for the kids. So, and they did start coming around about 5:30, 6ish. So that was really, really good. But I did notice in this neighbourhood, as opposed to my last one, a lot of the kids walk around, but here for some reason they seem to be having a lot of vans that were driving around, and I guess, I don't know if they had well, it wasn't a family, but a bunch of kids in sort of these vans. I guess they were groups of kids. They all just piled out of these vans and were let out at the beginning of a street and started knocking on doors. So yeah, that was a little bit different this year. So yeah, maybe we'll pop a little stamp here, and then got a little bit of fabric here. Now I believe this fabric came from Sue. I really should have bought, oh no, this is actually, I did get them. Yeah, I think this fabric came from Sue at Paper Inspirations. She sent me a lovely parcel a while ago now, and this beautiful lace was in it. We'll pop that one here. And maybe that'll do. It's a really beautiful lace actually, and it's so pretty that I haven't really wanted to use it, but there was this tiny little piece that was in amongst that stuff, so I may as well use it up. I've got a bad habit of hoarding anything that anyone sends me. I don't like using it, I just like keeping it, so should probably not do that, should probably use it. So there's another little one, but it's quite a bit plain, that one, but maybe we can, maybe the stitching or some staples might jazz it up a little bit. It's a little bit jammed, that stapler. There we go. That's better. Sometimes just a few staples or some sewing, it really helps. So let's tear some of this. We'll make this one a little bit bigger. And what else do we have in this pile here? I've got a lot of old Tim Holtz scraps actually, so try to use those up. Some atlas. Gosh, so many little bits. I think I'm going to have to go through these drawers and sort of cull some things because some of these scraps are just too small. We'll tear some of this atlas. I'll pop it up here, I think. Oh, there's that one there actually. Quite like that. Oh yeah. I'm going to turn it around. So yeah, and thank you all for your suggestions of TV shows to watch too in one of my other videos. I did find a new TV show on Netflix which is called Living with Myself, which is, it's got Paul Rudd in it, and it is just fantastic. My husband and I just binge watched it. It was just such a funny show. So yeah, Living with Myself, it's a really, really good one. But yeah, we binged it and now I'm back to square one. Still watching my Golden Girls. But yeah, I'll have to keep looking. So there's that. And what else should we pop on here? Cut some of this fabric off, I think. No, I don't think that'll go. I might actually tear this. I think this is too big for my liking. I do like to keep my embellishments quite small. So let's pop a butterfly maybe here. Oops. Dropping things off my table. So we'll just pop that one there. Yeah, so and lately, actually I think it was last week, I'm on a sort of a spending ban at the moment, because I tend to just bring home too much stuff that I don't use up for a very, very, very long time, and I kind of gave myself a rule to stop buying so much stuff, and then I ended up going up to the antique store and buying stuff, so I sort of broke my own rule. But yeah, I can't help it sometimes. I think I'll just leave that as is. And then I purchased some awesome tickets from Corey at Crafty Coco, which are these awesome ones, via Instagram. And then I went and bought some more wallpaper and some more vintage tickets, so those will be coming in the post next week. But yeah, I've really got to stop now. Got to stop buying all the stuff that I don't use up. Just grab my scissors. Sorry you guys. I think I might just leave this one. It's quite plain, but yeah, I might. Just leave it, because I don't think anything else is going to look very good with it. So what else do we have here? I've got some of this awesome graph paper with the writing on it, so I might grab some of that. And what else do we have? Oh goodness, what's this? It's out of a book, I think, so we'll grab some of that. Even this, I don't even know why this is in my scrap drawer. It is the tiniest piece of, I don't know what it is, hessian maybe? Let's see if we can use it though. It's so tiny. Shouldn't even be in there. That's quite ridiculous really. But we'll see if we can pop it on here. Get rid of it. Otherwise it can just go in the bin, I think. Pop that one up there. And what else have we got? It needs a bit of plain. I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to tear that piece and I'm going to pop it this way. And what else do we have? Got that piece of fabric that I cut. Let's pop that on there like that. And yeah, I watched a good movie yesterday. Actually, I think it was, I did go to see it at the movies and it's come out on Netflix too. But it's called Downsizing, and it was had Matt Damon in it, where he gets sort of shrunk. So that was another good one. But yeah, not much too interesting to really tell you guys, because I have been spending a lot of time up at the hospital with my uncle. So yeah, nothing too interesting really that's been happening this week. Let's pop that one this way. And here's our little piece here. Stick it up in the corner. See if it can sit up in there somehow. It's kind of falling apart, but here we go. Very, very odd little scrap. I don't know that I like it, but maybe some sewing will save it. Maybe we can pop a stamp over it. Yeah, let's pop a stamp on, that might save it. Okay, I think that'll do there. So we've got 4 little embellishment pieces, and I'll see if we can make a couple of others. Maybe we'll make some bigger ones actually now. So I'm just going to pack those up, and then I've got some pieces of handmade paper here. I think I've got some here that I accidentally dipped into the stamp pad, but that's okay. I'm going to decorate these little strips up here. Let's see what we can make out of them. We've got, gosh, what's this? Let's pop this along here. So these are fun actually, just to make up, to use in Happy Mail and things like that. Which is what I plan on actually doing with some of these, is popping them into Happy Mail. not for any sort of specific project, but yeah. Or just if you want to be creative but you don't really have anything in particular that you're making at that time. They're sort of good stash builders. What else do we have? I'll try and, no, that's a bit small, I think. Got a piece of paper there, or a piece of sort of script paper. Oh gosh, that's from a really old paper pad that I had, so let's pop this one down here. And it does sound like perhaps my mailman is here right now, so do apologise if I have to answer the door, guys. Sometimes they just drop it at the door and don't knock, but I'll just keep working away. You can usually tell because they come up the driveway in the van. They've got sort of loud music playing, so I can just hear someone sitting in the driveway right now. I'll just pop this one here. So these are sort of larger scraps, but they're also fun to use in journal pages. I might rip this one down here. Yeah, let's pop this here. And I also brought over some old words that I have not used in quite some time. So these are, I think they're Tim Holtz. Yeah, I think they're Tim Holtz ones. So I thought maybe I could pop some of these on some embellishment pieces as well. Sometimes it's nice to have a little phrase. But before I actually had bought those stickers, I used to make my own tiny words. Let me see if I can show you guys. I made some, I think, a year or two, 2 or 3 years ago maybe, and these ones were just ones I made for Christmas, and I printed them out on sticker paper, but I did have to cut them up, I believe. But yeah, I just made these up in Word, I think, and they had phrases, so Silent Night, Peace on Earth, Joy to the World, all that kind of stuff. Just made them up and would cut them out and sort of use them, so that's always a fun thing to do if you don't want to purchase the pretty sort of pre-done ones. Maybe we'll make this one this way, and we will pop sort of maybe a butterfly because it is a larger stamped piece. Yeah, we'll pop that there. And I might find some words to stick on this one. Maybe we can pop a word along there. So we could do it in black, or I think there's some white ones. Yeah, there's some white ones, so I might do a white one. So what about I just want to make nice things, because that's true. We all want to do that. So let's pop that here. Just to finish off that little embellishment piece, and then I will do some stitching and come back a little bit later. So we've got that one, and then this one here, maybe we should turn that one up here as well. Just trying to think what to pop on this one. What do we have here? Just trying to have a look in my drawers to see what I've got. old tickets in here maybe we can use. Some stubs that I don't really use very much. Maybe we can use those. They look quite nice on embellishment pieces as well. So I've got that one, and I think we need a little bit more, so let's just rifle through some of this mess we have here. Oh goodness, what is this even? I don't even know what that piece is. This really old piece of tea stain paper, which is, it's very cool actually. I don't know when I did that, but I do love the bit with the holes in it, so let's add that to the top so that we can see the holes. Okay, then we'll pop our ticket stub down here maybe. Do it that way. Maybe this one can go. No, then we won't be able to put a word. Maybe we'll just keep it this way. Okay, keep it like that. And I might add a little bit of lace there, just some extra texture. And a word I think will finish it off. So we got a few nice pieces to pop into some Happy Mail. What do we have here? It's always the small pieces that make the big picture. Travel the world over to find the beautiful. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Actually, there's quite a lot of room, so maybe we can do quite a long one. Let's do this one. Fall in love with as many things as possible. And you can ink these up. I used to ink them up. I don't think I will today, but we'll just pop that there. It's a bit plain, I think, but yeah, maybe some stitching once again will fix that. So let's just pop a staple along there. So I think staples actually look really nice. I want to put another one there. Need a long one to do it though. Staples actually look really nice with tickets. Okay, that doesn't look so good, but alright guys, so what do we have? I've lost my other embellishments in amongst my scraps here. Where did they go to? Ah, they're right here. Just a few embellishment pieces today. Little ones and big ones. I should have really brought out my brown paper bags because I absolutely love to work with my brown paper bags, but maybe next time. But I hope you enjoyed this little craft along with me. Anyway, I'm going to go and stitch these now, and then I'm going to come back when they're all done. So I'll see you in a minute. Alrighty guys, so I just went away and I did some sewing on these little embellishments. I also popped some of these sort of tiny word stickers, just the smaller ones, on these small little embellishments. So like this one here has got Wonder written on it just there under the rose, and I've done some stitching around it. This is another little one I created. It says this heart of mine. This one here, it's only got a little number that says 64 on it, so I popped that there as a little bit of stitching here actually. I tried to stitch there and then realised maybe you should do stapling after you sew. So I'll remember that. And this one says listen to the laughter. This one says good and true. If they focus there. And then these big ones, which actually I'm really loving, and I wish I did big ones rather than small ones now. So this piece here, which has got the little butterfly and it's got a little word sticker that says I just want to make nice things. So I actually really like that, and now I want to do more of these big ones. And then this one with this awesome holes and tickets says fall in love with as many things as possible. So I hope that's focusing okay. So that's that, you guys. A very much impromptu video here today, so bit of a ramble, bit of a mess, but you know, that's how I roll sometimes. But I hope that it has given you some inspiration, some Friday inspiration or some weekend inspiration. Hope this video keeps you company when you're crafting. And I pulled over some of the things that I did grab from the antique store if you guys were interested. So I will show you. One of the first things I picked up was this, gosh, I think it's a postcard. Yeah, black and white postcard, sort of a book. It had this inside, which it's always fun to find vintage ephemera. So it says 1937 on it, and inside here it says Monte Carlo, I think Monte Carlo, sorry. 10 photographs, but they're just, yeah, they're postcards. So lots of lovely black and white ones here. And I love to purchase things like these because I'm going to be making up some more vintage packs. Not right now, but eventually, maybe in a month or two. So there was that one. And then I grabbed these little vintage sort of, does it go that way? Yeah, that way. Colour photos. So this one's Interlaken. I've actually been to Interlaken. It's very beautiful in Switzerland. So these are just, actually that's Lauterbrunnen, I think it's called. Lauterbrunnen. Beautiful waterfalls that come down here. I've been there as well. Just for fun vintage photographs of Switzerland there, and actually this lovely one here, which is the first one. This one is Lucerne. I think that's how you say it, Lucerne. But yeah, how awesome are they? And these were, I think, $4 for a packet. So I actually think that's not a bad price. Some people in other countries might think that's more expensive, but I think that you've got to really weigh in like currency conversion. So, you know, $4 here in the US would be like $2.50 or something. So you got to weigh in currency conversion, and you got to, you know, things are priced differently in different countries. So for me, that's quite a good deal. Then I grabbed these playing cards here. These were $5. Once again, I think that's a good price for 1950s playing cards, especially when you've got about 50 or so. So I'm always looking at the quantity of things. So when I purchase things, I'm sort of looking at the value in that way. So here I've got 50 cards, and they're beautiful vintage cards from the 1950s. So yeah, I think there was about 55 all up, but they're so sweet of this lady, and they're like that. So there's that one, and it was $5. And I grabbed 2 stacks of these bridge scorer sort of sheets. These were $5 as well. So they're very thin, very, you can tell, very vintage. It's lots of fun, and there's lots of pads, so that's a pretty good deal as well. The first one there, like, it's really patinaed and then gets lighter underneath. So there's those ones. And then I grabbed these cards here, which is a double deck bridge set, and I just love these vintage roses, so that's why I grabbed that. And that was about all that I probably would have got. Things I would not have bought if I had you know, stepped outside for 5 minutes and thought about it, would have been these 2 packs. And although they were lovely, they were very expensive, and I believe that's because they're a brand Congress. I don't know, maybe it's worth more or something. They're still lovely, but yeah, I shouldn't have really purchased them, but I did. But that's what they look like. Every single card this side's blue, and that's sort of an orange one. Very, very pretty. And I couldn't resist these because they were birds. I guess that's why. But yeah, once again, very expensive for these. Probably shouldn't have got them, but I did. So they look like that. And yeah, so I thought I would just pop on. And then yeah, once again, I think I did show most of them to you guys. But yeah, these 20-cent cards are the other things that I got. So really, really, really fun. You've got to sift through for these ones though. But they are there. And the owner of the shop is really, really lovely, and she bought us a box to sort of, she said, spend all day here if you want and sift through them. So it's really lovely of her. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. A very impromptu video. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. It was fun making these, and I'm probably going to sit here and create more. I'm probably going to sit here and make more of these larger ones actually, because I think they're really fun. And I'll be including these in Happy Mail. So, and for the winners of the giveaway, everything's been sent. It was sent this week, so I'm not sure if the mail will start slowing down yet, but 2 of the giveaways to go to, one went to the Netherlands, one went to the US. They may be a little slow, so a few weeks they should get to you. But yeah, my videos might be a little bit sporadic from now on. Purely just because I need to spend a lot of time with my family at the moment, just due to personal family matters. Or I may come back and I may be crafting, because I do get a lot of sort of solace out of crafting, so I may be back and creating, but I may also, you know, sort of, it'll be sporadic anyway, you guys. But I hope you're all going to have a very, very lovely weekend. And yeah, take care you guys, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys!